The ability Respawn Punisher is by far the most requested ability for me to analyze. The project has been on the table for over a week now and it's finally here. The way we're going to go about this analysis is answering a series of questions. Be sure to stay tuned until the end for a chart containing all information we're going to learn, and please note that Respawn Punisher is an ability exclusive to shirts only, so it cannot be stacked. Let's get into it. The first thing we are going to discuss is who exactly gets affected by the ability. The ability's description itself is misleading. While it's correct that it affects the user, the description also says that it affects any player who splats you, which is not true. It affects any player you splat. The description makes it seem as if when an enemy splats you while you're wearing RP, and they die afterwards, they will receive the penalty. On the right side, I will splat a person wearing RP, then I will be splatted by someone who is not wearing RP. As you can see, the times were exactly the same, as well as the amount of special saved. Now that the description is proven to be wrong, we know the ability affects who is wearing it, and who those people splat. RP affects players in two main aspects, the respawn time and their special gauges. Interestingly enough, I found out that the respawn time and the special reduction while wearing RP and being killed by an RP user are not equal. Finding this out after hours of testing was a huge setback in the production of this video. Turns out whoever is wearing RP is actually affected greater. Luckily for you guys, I went through the trouble to find out the exact timing and amount of special gauge reduced. Let's take a look at how much longer it takes if you die while wearing Respawn Punisher. After subtracting the two amounts, you can see that 1.13 seconds are added to your respawn time when you are the one wearing RP. Now look at the respawn time for someone who gets killed by an RP user. The difference is only by 0.78 seconds. I found this information very interesting, and it quickly made me question RP's viability. As mentioned, your special gauge also gets affected by RP. Normally your gauge is only reduced by 50%. I discovered that when you're using RP, your gauge is reduced exactly by 57.5% and reduces anyone you kill by exactly 55%. This was figured out by slowly inking the stage to find exact point values and some simple math afterwards. Moving on, I've been asked what happens when both you and your enemy are wearing Respawn Punisher. Turns out, after looking at the results of this test, the effects do not stack. The right and left clearly respawn in equal time and have equal amounts of their special gauge filled up. The effects you suffer are equal to only you wearing Respawn Punisher. Another scenario in question is if assist kills affect the enemy splatted. Here on the right side, the person wearing Respawn Punisher will shoot me once, and the person next to her will finish me off as she gets the assist. As you can see, I respawned at normal time even with the person wearing RP getting an assist, proving that assists do not work with this ability. Something else I wanted to note is that RP's effectiveness does not decline after a while. After having someone with Respawn Punisher kill me over and over as shown here, I lined up the footage and thankfully the effects of this ability do not wear off. With all of this stuff out of the way, let's move on to the final subject of the video. Many people watching right now have probably thought, what happens if you use quick respawn or special saver? Of course, after lots of testing, I was able to reconfirm some information the community was somewhat familiar with already. Turns out Respawn Punisher nullifies quick respawn almost entirely at about 90% when you die against it. Watch this test. On the left, I'm wearing all quick respawn and being splatted by an enemy not wearing RP. And on the right, the enemy is wearing RP. As you can see, the quick respawn worked on the left, but barely on the right. In my opinion, nullifying quick respawn is RP's best factor, and as a side note, it does nullify for you as well. Moving on to special saver, the same deal goes on, but it looks like special saver is nullified a lot less in comparison to quick respawn. Again, the left side is all special saver being killed without RP, and the right side is being killed with RP. As you can see, there's a clear difference here. Overall, I say do not try using special saver and quick respawn to balance out RP, because they both just get destroyed by it and you're essentially wasting slots. I do not have the exact numbers for this data, and it's really too much for me to handle, but it looks like the special saver is nullified less, and both abilities are nullified slightly less when you are wearing them. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when you die by stage hazards like water while wearing RP, your respawn time is not affected, but your special gauge is. Finally, that's all the information from this video. Let me give my take on the ability while I throw up the chart of all the questions on screen. Before making this, I was already skeptical about Respawn Punisher. It clearly benefits chargers and support players the most, and it can also be used against teams who stack loads of quick respawn, which is honestly not seen that much in this game anyway. After figuring out the ability affects you more, I gave up on trying to defend it. All I can say is that you won't see me using Respawn Punisher anytime soon. This analysis took a while to explain, and I hope it wasn't too much to handle. I'm really sorry about the lack of uploads, and I've been trying my best. More on this subject will be discussed in future videos, streams, along with more ability analyses. This video took an insane amount of time to make, so please stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Peace.